no more with him. Then said Jesus unto the 12, Will ye also go away? Then Simon Peter answered him, Lord, to whom shall we go? Thou hast the words of eternal life. And it was that sentence that Jesus said, Will ye also go away? And I put the Bible away and I had to cry. I cried like a faucet. I took the Bible and I was thinking. And before that, I also had a YouTube channel, and I was into horror movies, I was into video games, I was into sports, and I was into all kind of garbage. And I kept thinking and thinking. I knew something was happening. 1 year before, or 2013, my father had a stroke, and I couldn't forgive him for everything that he has done, the violence and all that stuff. But it was around Christmas. He was in his wheelchair, and I knew that he wasn't gonna live much longer. It was Christmas, and my mother said, Conrad, can you take care of Herbert over Christmas? She wanted to visit some aunts or something, and I said, yes, I will take care of Papa. So on Christmas I went to my parents' house, and I made coffee, and I chopped wood, because my parents had an old oven where they put wood in, so it was warm. And so we sat over Christmas, and I made a hot cup of coffee for my father and me. By the way, I love coffee. Espresso. And I talked with my father, and we talked about old times. And when I saw him sitting there in his wheelchair, he looked very sad. And at that time I knew it was the last Christmas. A voice said, it's his last Christmas. It was that at that point in time I felt forgiveness for everything that he has done to us. I felt forgiveness in my heart, and that I carried in my heart, and that led to the scene with the Bible and my stepdaughter that fell into prostitution. But I believe, I'm sure, if I hadn't forgiven him on that day, Jesus wouldn't have pulled me to him. It was that forgiveness was the falling of the wall between me and Jesus. So I took the school Bible from my stepdaughter and I started to read, and I started with the Gospel of Luke, and I cried more and more, and I started to realize that all those years it was the enemy, it was always Satan that made a hell out of my life. And it wasn't God's fault, it was my fault and Satan's fault. Everything had to happen exactly like it had happened. And I realized that God was always there. And I've always heard his voice, but I couldn't. At that time I didn't know it was God's voice. I remember my ex-girlfriend, we were about to marry, and I saw in a dream that she cheated on me. And I told her, I had a dream you cheating on me before our marriage. And she said, no, could never happen, could only sleep with the man that I love. But it happened. 1 week before we got married, she cheated on me. And I remember going home, and before the train came, I looked up to the sky and I said to God, I hate you. And I remember that. But He forgave me for that. And He waited for me all these years. And when I got home, although I said, I hate you, I talked to Him and I said, why all this? Why all those bad things always happen to me? And He answered me. And He said, everything that is supposed to happen will happen. And that gave me a little bit of comfort. But now, at 2014, as I read in the Bible, my stepdaughter, then I got that it all had to happen exactly like it happened. And I made a video on my German channel and said, no more wrestling, no more horror movies, no more video games. It's all over. I'm a Christian now. I'm a born again Christian now. I left my Catholic faith behind me because as I read few pages of the Bible, I knew the Catholic way is not the right way. And I became a born again Christian. And you got to know, almost nobody knows here in Germany, nobody knows what a born again Christian is. And that started my journey. It's almost 10 years now. And it was a crazy ride, like Doug always says. It was a very crazy ride. I had my ups and I had my downs. I got so much from Jesus and His Father. So much. He helped me through very, very, very tough times. But I kept holding His hand. I kept holding His hand. No matter what happened, I kept holding His hand. And I will keep holding His hand, Jesus' hand. I will never, ever go back. Not 1 inch. Okay, I guess that's enough for today. I hope you liked it a bit. Maybe somebody out there can use that for his own walk. Maybe he will start to hear Jesus. And maybe you will start your journey with Jesus, because He is the way, the truth, and the life. My name is Conrad, and I wish you a blessed day. I will make much more videos on this channel, because I have a lot to tell you about my experiences with my faith. God bless you all. See you soon.